Hello there everyone, welcome back to another children's trading card game video. Following up on last week's review of the New York Zombie Apocalypse, today I'm going to be talking to you about March of the Dragon Lords, by far a more generically useful starter, at least it was. Does it still hold up moving into the set 3 meta? That's what I'm going to be answering today. Like the video, please, that would be appreciated. Thank you to Sundial, my million level supporter. If you do want to help support the channel, use my affiliate link. I'm aware it's broken at the moment, it will be fixed soon, I hope. And let's get started.
Okay, time to unbox this thing. So this is arguably I suppose not even arguably, this is the far more impactful one of the starter decks here. March of the Dragon Lords. So let's see what you get inside it. You get this playmat and rules guide. Cool. Did they fix the mistake on it? Let's find out. I doubt you care. Yeah, where is the thing? Do I have to unfold it even more? Maybe they didn't even... Okay, yep, maybe they fixed it. I don't know, it's not on that one. Is it on this one? No, okay, yep, they fixed it by deleting it. Cool. Stomps. Alright, here we go. Here's what we actually give a shit about. So, we got our two little pals here. Minimal packaging, good for lay environment. Honestly, I think it is still too... Like, as tiny as these are, I think it could even be less packaging, to be honest. They should go Digimon style on that, because I think there's no need for even this much. Oh my god. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Blank that out. And the same here. Come off. I'm certainly going to be cutting this, but maybe I'm too lazy to do that much, so if I am, I apologise in advance. There we are. Ba-boom. Let's chuck this all aside here. Right, let's go ahead and have a little look here what we've got. We have got the worst card in the starter deck by far. Very nice. And here we go. Here's why you're buying this. This legend card here. What's Gladion? Is that it? Gladion. That's the English. Yeah, this is not a good card. You get 3 copies of it. This card is at the moment just basically unplayable. I wouldn't bother. This card is amazing. This card is not bad, but I don't really see the need for it. Can I like, yeah, okay, I'll go over here. It's okay. I don't really see the need for it though. Not incredible at all. Yeah, I'm just gonna cycle through. I'll say good or bad. This card's good. This card is also good. This card's not very good. I'll go more into detail after this. Here we go. Controversy Central in Japan. They only got 1 of these. We obviously get 2 because, you know, making someone buy 4 copies of a starter deck is very scummy. Bushy Road. We got 3 copies of this. We got 2 copies of this. We got 2 copies of this. This is going to be essential for Dragon decks in my opinion, so there's the real reason you need to buy 2 of them. We get 4 Canhell, so that's nice. We get 4 Space Raptors, that's cool. We get 4 Space Caves. This is you need to buy at least 1 copy of this starter for these for the playset Space Caves. This card is absolutely insane. Quad Butterfly effect, which honestly hasn't been that amazing so far, but maybe it'll get better. Couple of these, none of these are very good. And some resources, but really the star of the show is Gladion and Space Cave. So, wabam. Whoa. Oh my god, that was a lot. Alright, let's get started here. Gladion, or, yes, Gladion, Grand Dragon Pentarch of Glory. So, here we have our Dragon Lord Light level 3, which is a 7/5/1 legendary. It has double attack, charge shield, and enhance for a level 2 or higher dragon. So, of course, there are some cute things you can do with this. For example, any familiar that can make itself a level 2 which is able to change its attribute, means that you're going to be able to enhance that potentially. But generally speaking, you are just going to be using this in a dragon deck for the enhance, or in a Genesis summon deck for just the double attack and charge shield. Now, few advantages of this card. 1, it's a 7 attack double attacker. This is really, really strong. 7 attack is hitting over everything in the game. In particular, some meta things are going to be your Schrodinger's, your Scoobs. They're going to be your
darkness cards. So basically all of those are very, very, very useful. So this card hits a really nice threshold there. In particular was Scoob in the set 2 format. Now it's more the darkness stuff. Being a dragon obviously means you can Genesis summon into it, and there are all the associated synergies which you see in this starter deck. 5 HP is not bad. It kind of sucks because this is in perfect Eons and Lucifer range. Obviously, if this was 6 HP, it would be a lot better. And unfortunately, it is in very strong competition with the brand new Legend in the set, which is kind of better but kind of worse. So there's a lot of tension in between which one you play. I think generally this loses out. Compared to the one in the main set, because the main set one is 2-strike, so if you Genesis into it, whilst neither would get the charge shield, you would have a 4 damage unit as opposed to a 2 damage unit, and the one set is always going to get its charge. The only downside is, of course, like you have to leave yourself 2 summon caps to summon it. So I think that generally, like, the thing is, if you're playing a 3, unless you have a lot of zeros, generally you're not going to be able to follow up on that anyway. And also, like, you might just have ways of special summoning, like a Festival of Flowing Lanterns. So, you know, I think there's a lot to talk about with this card, but it's very good. I just question whether you still want to be playing it in most decks over the new version, but it's still a very, very solid card, and previously the big reason to buy the deck. Next, we have got Detonator, Grand Dragon of Eruption. This is a lot worse. This is a Dragon Lord Fire Water, so it's not a dragon. And it's a 7/7/2, so good stats. It has Enhance, Dragon level 2 or higher, and Erupting Blast. Instant action, put all charges under this into the graveyard. Destroy any unit currently attacking this one. So obviously the idea for this would probably be to have a charge in it and stick it in the defensive. That way your opponent's not really going to be able to avoid it, or certainly if you keep it on the side, like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to attack it. What are the problems with this? Well, it's a 7/7/2. It's actually not very threatening. A 7/7/2 that's just a 7/7/2 that only does something when it's attacked might as well be a vanilla, because your opponent's never going to attack it, ever. Like, you've just -1 yourself to prevent your opponent attacking it, fine, but they're just going to go face. It's not a dragon, so you can't go into it easily at all. I just don't think this card is good. It's better thanks to Overlord. Overlord definitely makes this card a lot more playable, but would you really want this to be your big boss monster when there's so many good dragon level 3s? I don't know. I just don't like this card, and it might get better if we get more fire and water synergies, but at the moment it's really, really subpar, and we'll see that sort of fire-water thing in a little bit, but yeah. I also don't understand why it's put all charges, and I also understand, the real thing I don't understand is why it doesn't have charge shield. If this had charge shield, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty good. So you can start sticking it in defensive, and if your opponent nukes it with a defensive pop, fine, you still have your 7/7/2, and then if your opponent attacks into it, you can always get some removal off, so that would be a much stronger card. No charge shield is just not good, so if we get a way to give this charge shield, then I think this card becomes a lot better, but at the moment I think it's pretty bad. Next, we've got Belgaust of the Thunderous Wings. This is a 4/7/2 Wind Dragon Lord, and when you would normal summon a dragon unit, it costs 1 less resource. Now, this was played before, if you played Dragon decks previously in set 2. Now, I'm not really sure how strong this is, to be honest. You wouldn't play this on Overlord, which is obviously a big place you play them. You probably don't play Night Dragons, so realistically it's going to be Overlord or it's going to be Wizard, I think, are really your 2 options. Those are the only 2 with the sort of resource capabilities. And I'm not convinced that you really want this in either, though I do think it's a card with very strong future potential, because like when it's out, it's hard to remove and it's going to let you spam, right? But this is another problem with all the rulers in the game currently, is you can only summon 2 things. Like, how much spamming are you really going to be able to do? This is a card that needs support to develop over time, where we get lots of level 1 dragons that do lots of things, and we get a way to just summon the shit out of them without needing to worry about summon cap. This is the only sort of way I see this being really useful. Otherwise, I just think it's a card where it's like, it seems cool, but it's not really doing anything. Next, we've got Valia, the Mirror Scale. This is a 4/4/2. Any effect damage dealt, this becomes 0 instead. Cool. That would be cool. Unfortunately, It is a 4/4/2, which means it is susceptible to basically every decent attacker in the game at this point, and yeah, that means it's kind of useless. Next, we've got Nebulx of the Pale Haze. This is a 6/1/2. When this is special summon, choose one enemy unit at level 1 or less and destroy it if you do heal 1 life. And this is a dragon and a darkness. So this is actually a very cool card. There are trickster decks that are built around utilising this card. And even in general, just as a dragon card, this is really good. A 6 attack means it's going to be hitting over basically everything. Almost always, your opponent's going to have a level 1 or a level 0 unit on the board. So you can just take that away and you get to heal 1. This is 2 strike, very important there. And 1 HP is basically the same as like 3 HP nowadays, so it doesn't really matter. Frankly, the only way this card would be any better is if it had 7 attack, and I think it's good that it doesn't. I think this card is great, and definitely one of the best ones you play in that sort of level 2 dragon-focused deck. Next, we've got Gargeth of the Shattered Ice. This is another great card. So this is a 4/4/2, stats are not good. Dragon, Beast, Water, so Beast synergies, cool. Dragon is the main thing. The counter puts into the graveyard, and when this enters play, choose one enemy set card or one enemy field card and pop it. And this is however it enters play. Now, thanks to the new card in set 3, I can't remember the name, but you summon it and then you just swap it out for anything. You can always toolbox into Gargeth or Nebulx, so this is always going to be useful. And the fact that this is a card you can also just hard play and still get the ability is quite nice. Though, of course, we are seeing sets falling off a bit, and a lot of the good fields can just be like, well, the main field card that you would want to pop with this is going to be something like a Skystrike Arrow, which can simply be activated in response, making this kind of useless. So this kind of has gotten worse going into set 3, unfortunately, though I think it could come back into being quite playable. Next, we've got Velcrite of the Raging Flames. This is a 3/3/2, level 2, Dragon and Fire. When this is special summon, choose 1 or more enemy units and divide 3 damage among them. This really just... this should have... It's just not good. It's just not good. Everything about this card, like the stats, the like if this was a level 1, I'd be like, okay, alright, that's not bad. It's just not good. It's just not good. Next, we've got the Golden Blade, and this was a controversial card when it came out because there was an error with the Japanese versions and they only got 1 per starter. Thankfully, we get 2. And this card is definitely not as good as it first reads, but still very strong. So you can play it one set if you have a Dragon card of level 3 and higher in play. So this is actually very hard to play normally. But the counter will just play it, and if you have any of your martial skill supports, because for some reason this is a martial skill, you can just play this, skipping that timing entirely. And what this will do is it'll choose an enemy unit of 3 or less, it loses all abilities and is destroyed. And while it's on the gate, your players may not play cards' abilities, and if you haven't seen my video talking about gate timings and stuff, you should check that out. It's called This Card Sucks. Go watch that. But thanks to gate processes being real, this card is now buffed. That's it. Like, if you play this tough shit, you know, your opponent loses the card, there's nothing they can do about it. And obviously that's very cool. The problem is it's a level 3 card, it's a level 3 event, and it's very, very, very difficult to actually abuse. The number of decks that are really going to be able to take advantage of this are very limited. However, you know, it's generic destruction, and that's incredibly powerful, especially if we move into a format where there are a lot of decks that just stack one really big thing. Like, we have not entered a format in this game. Like, there has never been a deck where there is just something that builds a big tower and you just have to hit over the tower. Right? Like, that has not happened in this game yet. This is a card that will go fuck you to that. Unless, of course, it's a superior, in which case this card will not do that. But yeah, I think this card is very, very good to own. And it's a very compelling reason to buy the starter, just to own some copies of this card. But it's not immediately insane, but if you chucked in a couple copies, it's a very strong counter. I don't think anyone would be mad about that. Next, we've got Dragon's Fire. This is a level 2 martial skill. Instant action, you choose one enemy unit of 2 or less. If you have a Dragon card level 2 or higher in play, destroy the chosen unit, and the counter play the cards. This is literally just a level 2 version of Golden Blade. You know, it's not bad. You can actually always use it, and it is a level 2, so and we are seeing a lot more we're seeing level 3s fall off a fair bit in this new format, with some exceptions, with some deck exceptions, but generally speaking, we're seeing, you know, most decks don't really want to play too many of them. We're seeing level 4s, and we're seeing level 2s and level 0s, so this is a better card in that sense, because it's going to hit, you know, 2s and 1s and 0s, which are a lot of the format. So that's obviously quite nice, though it doesn't nullify abilities, and, you know, some of the big level 2 decks, like for example Alice, are going to care a lot if their ability is nullified when you destroy them, because that's going to remove any charge shield or anything. So yeah, you know, I don't think this is as good, fairly obviously. Next, we've got Dragon from the Id. This is a level 2 Dragon Beast 4/3/1. Counter is choose one non-legendary dragon or beast unit in your graveyard and return it to your hand. And if you do, deal 1 damage to you. I don't know why this needed that deal 1 damage to you bit. I think it was totally fine without it. The taking the extra damage really makes this card a lot worse. And the ability is ignore any counter for damage that this deals to your opponent, which can be pretty cool because you can make this 2-strike or even more if you're playing blue. So if you're playing a blue-pink beast deck, what you can do is you can play this card and you can buff its strike with Madam Duchess. If you, for example, you could buff this up to 4-strike with a completely untouched damage zone, and suddenly this is 4 uncounterable damage. That's very scary. Even 3 is very scary. That can just close out a game. And then another thing you can do is you can use the new beast card, which name I forget. It's Custodius, which can make this 2-strike, which is obviously very, very nice as well. So ways to buff up the strike makes this card far stronger. As its base form, I think it's actually not a good dragon support card. I think it's actually way better in beasts now. So yeah, I think you actually don't bother playing this in dragons. I mean, you can, but I think there are better ways to spend your counter slots, and I think this is a much better beast card. Next we've got Starwalker Kirin. This is a counter and touchdown. This is Dragon Beast Space Peeps 3/1/2. 2-strike is very nice. The counter untaps a resource, shit counter. The TD though looks at the top 3 cards of your deck, chooses a dragon from among them, and adds it to your hand. So this is great. This is like the most stereotypical like Overlord card if I've ever seen one, right? Like you just go, okay, very cool. I play this thing for 1 and I get to add 1 card to my hand and it's 2-strike. Very poggers. Yeah, this is very nice in that, but generally this is actually quite hard to take advantage of because, it adds a card to hand, but it's a fucking level 2. The stats aren't amazing either. Like, I get the idea is to go like, oh, well, you know, I have my reduced cost, so I play this for 1, and then I'm going to add like a big level 3 dragon, then I can enhance my Starwalker Kirin to make it bigger. Well, very cool. But it turns out in actual gameplay, that's quite shit. Next we've got Canhell. This is a level 0, 2/4/0. If you would normal summon a dragon unit, it costs 1 less resource. So this is just a better version, kind of the level 3. You know, you can play it for free. It's 4 HP, so it's not amazing. Like, that can get hit over by basically everything relevant. However, it's a level 0, so it's a bit forgivable. Would have been nice if it was like a 1/5/0. That would have been way nicer. But again, this was printed at a time when they clearly were not making hand ruler cards very good. So, it is what it is. I don't know that you ever really want to play this card, because again, like, Overlord is where you really want to be abusing it, and do you really have space for this as well? But it's a nice option. Space Raptor, this is a cool card. This is a level 0, Beast Space Peeps 3/2/1. You can banish this from your hand to special summon a dragon of level 2 or less from your hand. This is quite cool, and whilst it hasn't seen play at the moment, I do think this is very popular. I just read the flavor text and said it. I do think this is very possible to see play in the future. It's got strong future potential because it's a very generic ability and it directly lets you combo off because it special summons, right? So very much this is a card in the future I would keep an eye on because this could enable some very, very cool combos. It might be a while before it does though. Okay, here we go. Right, I don't think I really need to, I'm not going to say too much on this card. This is Flying Shield, except it's also got one of the best counters in the game just tacked onto it. This is the reason you buy the starter deck. It comes with 4 copies, so if you're not planning on buying one, I would change that decision. I would go out to your local game store and I would pick up 1 copy of the starter, or you can use my affiliate link in the description to buy one from Triple C TCG, who sponsored this video. That would be very nice of you, so yeah. Next we've got Butterfly Effect. So this is a card that reads very cool, but in gameplay is less good. So it's a level 0, and you choose a dragon card you haven't played, put it on the bottom of the deck. If you do, then you choose 1 non-legendary dragon of the same level from your deck and special summon it. The fact that it's non-legendary, of course, I understand why, because you could literally use this card to just keep Magvariusing. Like, it doesn't say of a different name, so you can just bring out the same thing. And it also doesn't say like use any TDs or anything, so it has to be a card that says when this is special summoned or when this enters the field. So at the moment, card pool makes this card a lot worse. However, as we go into the future and we get more level 2s with very good effects, or more level 3s, like this is a card that lets you either duplicate the ability of the thing on the field that you just want to use again, it lets you sub into something better, like more appropriate for the situation. It's a very strong card that just does not have the card pool to support it right now, but it's something you definitely want to keep in mind. I'll come back to this in a moment. Space Carthage. This is, you choose a allied unit level 3 or higher, put it to the graveyard, and if you do, heal 1 life. Why does this say level 3 or higher? I don't know. Yes, I understand the purpose. The purpose is your opponent attacks into it, and you go, well, you're going to kill it anyway, so I'm going to sack it off and heal 1. But, like, when would you realistically want to do that? When it's, like, in the defensive, realistically, that's, like, the best case scenario. Because otherwise, I don't know why they'd really, like, I don't know if they're necessarily really going to want to attack anything on the side. It's such a neg. Like, don't play this card. Don't play this card, it's not good. Finally, Frostfire Gemstone. Yeah, you can set this, and you can set this. If set, you can play it when your opponent chooses 1 or more of your units with an ability or event while you have a fire or water card in play. Negate that event or ability. This card was way better when they printed this because there was none of this shit at all in the game. Now we look at set 3, we have a bunch of cards that negate ODs, that negate TDs, that stop special summoning, we have stuff that negates abilities, we have stuff that negates events. Yeah, this card's not good anymore. Absolutely not worth the effort. So, in summary, what do I think of this deck? Well, I'm a bit conflicted. I think very much like the zombie starter deck, there is a lot of potential here. There are some events that are very, very powerful. There's a lot of stuff in here that I read and I go, yes, in the future, that card could be very, very strong. Unfortunately, specifically in the starter deck, a lot of the actual support is just not good. It just does not do anything that you would want it to do. So that's obviously very unfortunate and definitely makes it a bit hard to really want to play the deck. I think there is a lot of potential, and I definitely do want to keep my eye on it. The saving grace of the starter is the fact that it comes with 3 cards, really, that are like very generically useful. It comes with Gladion, it comes with Golden Blade, and it comes with Space Cave. And those are all very generically useful cards, in particular Space Cave. And Space Cave alone, to be honest, makes me give this the go out and buy it recommendation. I think you should go out and buy it. But those other cards are just cherry on top. And it's not an expensive starter deck. It's worth it for the Space Caves. I would go out and grab a copy if you haven't already. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel for more of this sort of stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you been playing the Dragon deck? Is it any good? What do you think? Do you like the new set 3 support? Post some builds. Join my Discord server, link to the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.